Hey everyone, it's Sundays with Timmy XJW. As you can tell by the title of this video, I want to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses and the meaning behind faithful and discreet slave, and what the actual term elders come from. I looked this up recently, and it really makes a lot of sense, for the elders part anyway, and it's a pagan thing for the term elders. Anyway, another reason why I wanted to get more into this for the faithful and discreet slave part, because I've been thinking about this a lot more in the last few years. And I made previous videos what faithful and discreet slave mean, but I really want to get the meaning behind it in case anyone didn't really put much thought into it. So, obviously, for my ex-Jehovah's Witness friends who are watching my videos, and who is watching this one, know that Jehovah's Witnesses obviously had a terminology called faithful and discreet slave. I realized how bad that sounded around 2015-2016, and that gave it a red flag right there for me. And recently, a lot of us obviously knew they changed it to just governing body. But if you look again at the meaning behind it, put more thought into it, realize it's not a good thing to be secretly a faithful slave to this organization of Jehovah's Witnesses. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to get into it, do a little quick short description of discreet and slave, and then more into what the meaning of elder is. So, anyway, discreet adjective. Careful and circumspect in one's speech or actions, especially in order to avoid causing offense or to gain an advantage. And gain an advantage is not a good thing. If you really look at it, it's not a good thing to gain advantage out of somebody or a group of people, which is what, unfortunately, the Jehovah's Witnesses like to do. And I put a lot of thought into this, and it makes a lot of unfortunate sense to this. And maybe my ex-Jehovah's Witness friends can confirm this. Jehovah's Witnesses are just a job to their followers. They don't really care about their followers at all. They are doing this out of mainly social guilt. And again, to them, it's just a job. And unfortunately, their followers are too brainwashed to realize that they've been a job this whole time. Just a job to, again, their followers. Anyway, synonyms: careful, circumspect, cautious, wary, chary, and guarded. And a few of these that really caught my attention with this. You don't need to be a psychologist or a rocket scientist to look up discreet meaning and slave meaning. I wanted to put kind of my own words into the synonyms of this. They want to be careful, cautious, and guarded when it comes to sexual abuse allegations, which is why they won't really be honest with their followers about it. They want to be secretive about it to them and won't be honest what is really happening. They won't disfellowship the person, like I've talked about before. They won't disfellowship the brother that, or elder, or whoever is in the kingdom hall. They won't disfellowship him because of the privileges he's giving in the kingdom hall to their followers and everything. But they'll disfellowship the victim of it because, again, they just want to be cautious and not get their religion exposed to the outside world and have their followers realize it was a scandal the whole time. I try not to be as, heavy with the subject, but it's just something I want to talk about because, unfortunately, more often than not, and I read an article on this, that a lawyer said, unfortunately, in the Jehovah's Witnesses, when a victim was assaulted in any way, doesn't report to the police first, or lawyer, or whoever is higher up, and expose the Jehovah's Witnesses about it. They think they're going to find comfort out of the elders, when unfortunately, that's the mistake they make, and they threaten the victim of it. And that's where a lot of problems come into play with that. But when someone has a different belief or because of their sexuality or they're caught smoking a cigarette, instantly disfellowshipped. And they won't be honest with their followers about it, what really happened, because they want to, again, this is the whole part of what keeping a secret means. And again, you don't need to be a psychologist or a rocket scientist to type in discreet meaning or slave meaning. And this is another thing I want to get into with the term slave. It's a noun. A person who is the legal property of another and is forced to obey them. Yeah, you can Google this yourself. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or a psychologist just to Google what slave means. And unfortunately, I think I mentioned this, but I'll say it anyway. Jehovah's Witnesses are just a job to their followers. And they want to keep that as secret as much as they can and won't just be honest with them. They think they're going to get away and go into paradise and all this stuff. But in reality, what they really mean is they want to take as much money from them as they can in any way, shape, or form. It's unfortunate, again, these headmen at the Watchtower headquarters just can't be honest with their followers. They want to make them a slave to them. Make all these excuses, whatever it may be. They want to make all these excuses, but yet can't be honest with them from the start of what's really happening. They can't tell them that they can just not be in that religious cult anymore. They have to keep lying to them because they've already started a lie, so they might as well just keep doing it, and they've gotten away with it somewhat pretty well with it, unfortunately. And their followers are completely oblivious to the thought of knowing that they're a slave to them. They threw away everything for something that's never going to happen. When someone gets disfellowshipped, and I've seen this, obviously, like I said before, and I'm sure a lot of you ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, again, obviously, have seen this a lot growing up. And it makes a lot of sense. People who were Jehovah's Witnesses at one point and then get disfellowshipped for whatever reason, it makes a lot of sense. They won't tell their followers why they got disfellowshipped. They'll just tell them they're mentally diseased and an apostate. And then that leaves their followers on an edge and make the person that got disfellowshipped look bad. Even if they try to talk about being sexually abused by someone or physically assaulted or both or whatever it may be, they just look at them badly because of what the elders or whoever tells them are disfellowshipped. They won't give them a clear, honest answer about it. And this goes in with, I guess, being a slave. That when they get baptized, they don't realize they're a slave and they're a property to them. These group of head men own the Jehovah's Witness followers. These Jehovah's Witness head men, elders at the Watchtower headquarters, own their followers. And it's unfortunate and sad to see they don't realize it's just a job to them. They don't realize that their followers are just a job to them. Which is why, they can't be honest, like I said, to anything and everything about whatever is happening. Like I've talked about before, when a follower wants to ask the elder a question or a brother or whatever, they have to make excuses and beat around the bush. They're not allowed to be honest because they can't. Because they're already so used to lying, they gotta keep doing it. And another part I wanted to get into, what elders really mean, and I've looked this up. Again, it's a pagan thing, and it makes a lot of sense. And there's a lot of things that Jehovah's Witnesses, at least, the Watchtower headquarter headmen, take out of context. Defining a covenant elder. And again, you can tie that to what these headmen like to call themselves in the Jehovah's Witnesses. A covenant elder is a role model. They think they are, but they really aren't. They only say they think they are for their followers. They do not need to have lived a free life. Again, that goes into what I talked about earlier. They don't want to tell their followers what's happening. But they must be a person that knows how to embrace life's lessons and grow in a positive way. Again, like I've talked about, their loophole. They think they're getting positive reinforcement, but they're just getting negative reinforcement. They should be respected by others as a person of high morals. They must be honest to themselves and to others. Again, this is what elders really mean, and yet, unfortunately, all Jehovah's Witnesses know how to do is make excuses. That's all they're good at doing. Like, again, I'll give an example like I made before. You can say the car, like if someone who isn't a Jehovah's Witness and they see a car is green and they talk to a Jehovah's Witness, that Jehovah's Witness will say, no, that car is blue. I see it blue. When it's green for that color, whatever color was picked. But they'll look at it differently and try to cause a fight. Because that's what they know how and what they know what they're good at doing. Like I said, this is what faithful and discreet slave means. They can't be honest with their followers, what's really going on. They just tell them when someone gets disfellowshipped for whatever reason, be it anything from even just abuse, they can't be honest. They don't realize they're a slave to them, that they own them, that they made them throw away everything into something that's never going to happen. And again, this is what elders really mean, at least in a pagan sense. They take a lot of paganism out of context. And I'm obviously pretty sure you ex-Jehovah's Witnesses are aware of this. They talk about paganism, that they're sort of pagan or whatever. Maybe I'll save that for another video, but again, they're Jehovah's Witnesses, at least the Watchtower headquarter headmen, these elders, as you will take it intentionally out of context. What pagan really represents, the meaning behind paganism. And like I said, when it comes to unfortunate circumstances of events of just child abuse, sexual abuse, and all of that, they can't be honest and like disfellowship the person that did it. They have to disfellowship the victim of it, unfortunately. I mean, for me, I never was abused in any way in the Kingdom Hall, but I sympathize with the abusers, these abusers that do it in the Kingdom Hall. I mean, not literally in the Kingdom Hall, but you get the idea. I mean, granted, I've heard stories that it does happen in the Kingdom Hall, but not really talked about. Again, if you don't realize how bad faithful and discreet slave sounds, again, you're in a cult and don't realize that Jehovah's Witnesses are just a job to their followers. I'm sure a lot of you ex-Jehovah's Witnesses didn't really put much thought into it, but I just wanted to tie it with this video, and I've been wanting to talk about it for a while, but I never could really get around to it. So, if you agree with what I say, which I know my ex-Jehovah's Witness friends will, leave this video a like, hit that red subscribe button down below. It takes 3 seconds of your time. I'm pretty sure most of you have a YouTube channel, so hit that red subscribe button down below. Turn on post notifications so you never miss a post. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, which I'm pretty sure my Jehovah's Witness friends can agree to this. And if there's Jehovah's Witnesses that are watching this that don't take the religion seriously, do your research. I'll even try to put a link after this. I'll even try to put a link what elders really mean. At least, even though it says defining a covenant elder, but it makes a lot of sense in the whole thing. So, again, like I said, I just wanted to make this video because it's something I've been wanting to talk about. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys, I don't know, have a good day or something. So, anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Sorry. Have a good day.